Hello, welcome to the Whisky Comedian podcast. Today coming from the Whisky Bar in Oslo in Norway, and I've been joined today by Eirik Jakobsen, who owns the bar here, and from Steen Petersen, who runs Stand Up Norge here in Norway. And what we're doing is we're doing Whisky for Dafties here this week in the Whisky Bar, and it's an absolutely spectacular place to be drinking whisky in here. So guys, how are we doing today? Are we well?
We're well, very well.
Excellent. So we've just been having a wee chat before we go any further. The reason we decided we would have this little podcast just now is that Eirik was discussing with us how difficult it is to sell alcohol, to run a whisky bar here in Oslo, because the rules are very, very difficult, to say the least. Yeah,
very strict. Yeah.
Right. What I like specifically about this place, getting away from the whisky, is that which we've got up there. I don't know if you can see the ceiling. How many different bottles do we have up there on that ceiling, Eirik? Do you know?
It's about 400 now. Yeah.
400. Right. Now, the reason that the ceiling is interesting, not just the fact that there's bottles of whisky on the ceiling, but it's the red tape that you had to jump through to get the bottles there. Now, because apparently here in Norway there is a monopoly on who can sell whisky, and it's only one company who can sell any alcohol over 4.75%. There's only one company that can sell the alcohol, and that company is state-owned. What are they called?
Wine Monopoly.
Wine Monopoly. Literally, that is their name. Their name is Wine Monopoly. Right, brilliant. So they're the only people who can sell anything above 4.7%. So for personal use, for home use, for bottles of. So you can go to a bar, you can obviously buy any bars, but it means that you have difficulties getting your whiskies here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Still have a lot of companies that import whiskies, and we have to buy from them through the Wine Monopoly, or Eirik, which is called now. But it's just, the selection is not good at all. So we have to import a lot of our whiskies ourselves, and of course we'll pay lots of taxes on it.
You pay lots of taxes on it. What was the figure that you told me earlier on? Was it 6 krona per percent?
6 krona and 50 øre. So per percent alcohol on liquor, yeah. So on a 40% bottle, about 250 Norwegian krona, 25 quid.
Which is about £25 sterling on tax, and then on top of that, you've got the duty which is paid when the alcohol comes out of the still into the cask, and then again out of the cask into the bottle. So we're working out. We've got sat over there. We've got a bottle of Johnny Walker Red Label, 70 cl, and that retails at how much here?
450 Norwegian krona.
450 Norwegian krona, of which you're only spending around about 50 krona on the actual whisky inside the bottle. The other 400 krona is in tax. In tax, 40 pounds. £40 in tax for a bottle of Johnny Walker Red Label. Scandalous, right? But the crazy thing is that you can't advertise, right? No advertisements at all.
Not at all, no.
Right. No. Which then go on and explain the trouble that you had then with these bottles up here.
Oh yeah, okay. The rooftop, when we built this place 2.5 years back, we had to apply for the roof here. So we got a lawyer to ask the government, can we do this? And of course they said no, we can't. That's advertisements. So we had to go to London to a pub owner there, buy 200 bottles, old bottles of whiskey that he had stacked down his basement. Paid, this is quite funny as well, we paid £5 per bottle. But we got a piece of paper saying that all the bottles are over 25 years of age, making them antiques. You can't get them anymore. So then I can actually hang them up in the roof.
Right, so every single bottle up there, the bottle itself is over 25 years of age. Not the whisky which has been in it, but the bottle itself is over 25 years of age. So they're all classified as antiques. Let's see some of the ones we've got up there. Well, we can see straight away we've got Lefroy going up there. It's a 10-year-old Lefroy, so that's over 25 years of age. You can see from quite a lot of this that actually the branding hasn't changed, although we do have a sneaky Lefroy quarter cask in there that somehow worked its way in there, right? Okay, certainly not over 25 years of age, that one, right? Okay, what have we got else in here? We've got stuff I've never heard of. It's fantastic. We've got a fantastic, massive big bottle of Teachers there. Normally you'd see that with the label upside down because it'd be on the back gantry. We've got some Kilcreggan. I've not actually seen Kilcreggan before, Glenfiddich. I've not seen that one either. So we'll take some photographs of these and we'll put them up on the whiskeycomedian.com website. There's absolute crackers. Oh, we've also got some Bushmills. Boo! So not only is it's difficult for you to sell the stuff over here, it's difficult for you to get a hold of the stuff. So where are you getting the majority of your stock from?
I get most of my stock I get from the Whisky Exchange in London, actually.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, the rare bottles I get from there. But the standard range, you know, the Glenfiddich, the Balvenie, the Lefroy 10-year-old, quarter cask, and of course the Ardbegs and Macallans I can get here in Norway.
Right. Yeah. So looking at the bar, you've got how many whiskies do you reckon that you have here at the bar?
About 450 different bottles.
450 different bottlings, and then you've got some quite lovely ones in there. There's a Hazelwood from Clonibby, which is tucked in there. Now I noticed that was something like 1,120 krona.
Yeah.
I think that was in the menu. 120 quid for 1 dram of Hazelwood. Is that the most expensive one that you've got in here?
No, it's actually not. The most expensive one is the 50-year-old Glen Grant from Ian MacLeod. That's about 918 per CL. So
918
per CL
krona per 10 millilitres.
Yeah.
So for a proper dram, that's 180 quid. For a 25 millilitre dram.
25 milliliters, but we serve in Norway. You actually serve 40 milliliters is a proper dram in Norway. So 4 CLs, 40 milliliters is a proper dram. So about almost 4,000 Norwegian krona for a dram.
400 quid for a 50-year-old Glen Grant. Wow! And how much of that have you had?
Oh, turn off the camera, will you?
Another great thing I've got here in the Whisky Bar is if we can just zoom in down the front, you've got a personal stock locker, so people can come in and because it's difficult for them to purchase their own bottle of, shall we say, deluxe single malts. It's difficult for them to get a hold of. What they do here at the Whisky Bar is they will buy a bottle for you and you pay for that bottle and then it gets locked up in the case there. And if you want to have your own dram from that bottle, you've got to come here to the bar and drink it because you're not allowed to drink alcohol externally on the street, right? So it's much more cost effective for the punters to buy their bottle via the bar here than it is to go online and get it from the Whisky Exchange or whoever it is that they're using. Now there's also something rather spectacular that you've got sat in here, which is we've got a living cask sat over there. It's from the Mackmyra distillery, which is just across the border in Sweden. So how long's... Oh, wait a minute, I've done something weird to the camera. Right, there we go. So tell us how long you had that running here.
That cask has been here now for almost 10 months actually. Got it in February this February. It's 3-year-old Mackmyra we put into the cask. It's a mix between Mackmyra matured on bourbon wood and Mackmyra matured on Swedish oak actually. And that cask is first fill bourbon.
Right. And obviously it's been drained. And are you continually topping it up with 3-year-old Mackmyra?
No, I'm not.
So what are you adding to it?
Right now we're not adding anything. I'm taking out a wee sample every month or so, just to check it. We don't want to sell as much of it yet because it's not ready. It's not. It's going to be quite a while before it's ready, actually.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So what is it? 70% full at the moment? 60%?
It's when we filled it at 55%.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, so it's right.
Okay.
I'm talking actual quantity.
Right now it's sitting at 80%.
Right.
Yeah. But because of the heat in here, and of course quite a busy bar, so on the weekends it gets quite warm in here.
Mature.
It's actually the alcohol content has risen, so we started off at 55%, and now it's up to 58.5.
Right. Well, talking about the temperature there and the maturation rate brings us on to what you were just getting me to try. The best things happen by accident in life. Many people would say that that's how whiskey as we know it came about, was an accident of someone leaving spirit in an old brandy barrel or an old wine barrel or however it was, but that's how it came about. But Norway had its own accident. Now they don't. There is a new single malt Norwegian whiskey coming out next week, which hopefully tomorrow night's show we're going to have a bottle of to try. But what the spirit of Norway is famous for is aquavit, right? Which is this stuff here. It's made from potatoes, apparently, and herbs and caraway seeds. But explain aquavit to us, please, Eirik.
Aquavit, so you said potatoes, caraway. This particular bottle we call Løtenslinje is one of the most traditional bottlings. It's actually one of the most famous distilleries as well. Well, it used to be before they mothballed it. What they do is they distill the spirit, shitloads of herbs, shitloads of spices, and then they put it on Spanish oak cask, ex-sherry, and they send it around the world on a boat. So it crosses the equator twice, and it comes back, and they bottle it. Why, we don't know. Well, I don't, anyway.
Do you know how long we've been doing that for?
I'm just guessing here, but at least 100 years.
Right.
At least.
And you were saying that it's. I said I thought it would make a nice aperitif. You said no.
We drink it with our food, especially during Christmas time. Because Christmas, as I told you, we eat really fat and rich foods, lamb and pigs and stuff like that. And for in between courses, or just when you're, you know this as well, when you're just stuffed up on Norwegian Christmas food, a little dram of aquavit just melts it out. It's really good.
Cleanses the throat and you're ready for more food.
Gets your stomach working, gets you a bit drunk. That's beautiful.
Right. So the way that Stian and myself met, we met at the Altitude Comedy Festival in Meerhofen in Austria earlier on in the year. So we were drinking lots and lots of whiskey from hip flasks on the chairlift. What would you recommend for being a fine dram to have on the chairlift?
Fine dram to have on the chairlift. I'm in love with the Bruna Haben. So Bruna Haben, 12-year-olds, beautiful. Stunning whiskey.
Right. Okay. We'll make note of that for Meerhofen next year. Anyway, Stian and Eirik, thank you very much for having me over here. Hopefully the show's going to be brilliant. We're almost sold out, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah.
We are,
Right. So we'll get some footage from the show and we'll stick it up here. This has been the Whisky Comedian podcast from the Whisky Bar.no, which is in Oslo, Norway. And Eirik has been running this bar for what, 2.5 years now?
2.5 years.
And before that, you were the brand ambassador in Norway for Glenfiddich and Balvenie. Cool. Right, so this has been the Whisky Comedian podcast. If you want to know more, go to whiskycomedian.com. My name's Alan Anderson. He's Eirik. He's Stian. And we'll see you again next time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.